Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's all mizzoggy here today. It's all dark and grim and grimbles, as my grandson would say. And if you know what grimbles is from, then you definitely have youngsters in your family. For those who don't know, it's from a programme called Go Jetters, aimed at the under fives. So anyway, enough about grimbles and grimy weather. What are we doing today? Well, as per the request, we're going to be doing the baby wipe technique. We're going to keep it simple because it is Make It Simple Monday after all, and we're going to have fun doing it. So enough of me, who, by the way, I'm Cary, and I'm one half of Two Big Girls Crafting here in the United Kingdom. If you don't know us, we have a blog and we have a Facebook page, and we do these lives every Monday afternoon. Anyway, enough of that. Good morning, Betty. Hi, Kay, Laura, Ali, Lynn. Oh, the gang's all here. Cheryl from Virginia in the USA. Oh, we are multinational today. Anyway, enough of me. Let's switch you around and get to see what we're going to do. So, let's get this stand set so that I can actually set it and leave my hands free, because that would be really useful. Let's just check to see if the page is going live, but it must be. Okay, so things you need to do with the baby wipe technique. You need re-inkers. Now, these are the colours I've chosen. I've chosen, hi Trudy, from Michigan. I've chosen Parakeet Party, Orchid Oasis and Tahitian Tide because they are some of my all-time favourites colours, these in colours from Stampin' Up. We've also got a case. You could use a Tupperware box or, anything you like, because the advantage to the baby wipe technique is it lasts. It doesn't have to be one go and done. So, what is the principle? Well, the principle is we open our case up and we're going to put some baby wipes in it. Now, I personally like to put a wodge in. Now, why I like a wodge is because it gives it a platform to work on, to give it a bit of softness, if you like. Hi, Tricia from Colorado. Oh, welcome. So, we have our re-inkers, we have our case, we have our baby wipes. So, what are we going to do with them? Well, actually, what we're going to do is create our own custom ink pad. So, I'm going to start with Tahitian Tide. And all I'm going to do is pop drops randomly all over my baby wipe. You can go back in there more, but you can't take them away. Remember that bit. You're invested in the process. It's messy, Laura. We like messy. It's not actually that messy. You can keep it clean. You can wear gloves, and if you're sensible, you can make it neat and tidy. I'm just not very sensible, so I tend to get in a mess, really. As you can see, there are quite big gaps around there. So what we need to do is come back in with another colour and try and get them to bunch up a bit, because we don't want too big gaps between them. We do want to be able to get all our stamp inked up. So I've picked 3 colours there. I am going to go back in with my first colour, which was my Tahitian Tide, and I'm going to add a few more little drops in here to get some of these spaces to go together. As I said, there's no right or wrong in this. There's no rhyme or reason, but making it work is the aim of the game. I think a little bit more Orchid Oasis in some of these gaps would be good. Now they will spread out a bit, so be patient. I'm not very good at patient, but Jill will tell you that. Don't panic if it doesn't look... I actually quite like the pattern. I think it looks quite funky, but neat and tidy, no fun. Absolutely sensible. Don't like sensible either. Yeah, sensible is boring, isn't it? I'm going to go in with more green here and here and here. And if we don't like it, what have we done? We've not broken anything. We've not wasted anything, apart from a few drops of re-inker. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't work. Never let fear of failure put you off. The only thing that you should ever fear is not doing. Because if you don't do, how do you know? I'm going to put a little bit of orchid in here, just to fill that little gap up there. Yeah, let's go for a bit of orchid there as well. Okay, so shall we give it a go? Now, case closed. No. Otherwise I will stick my hands in it and get very messy. So I'm going to leave that there for a moment, and I'm going to show you a stamp set. Now this is the Joyful Flurry, and it has these gorgeous snowflakes of different size, but they're very thin lines. Now I think they're going to work, but they might not be the most colourful. Showing the colour off. They won't be the best for showing the colour off. So I have pulled out my candy canes because they have larger solid colour areas. So I'm just going to take two candy canes, and I'm going to find a block that fits them, because that's quite useful. I have to have two, so I'm going to put one on there and one on there. So I now have blocks with stamps and ink, and of course the next thing I'm going to need is some paper. Well, actually what I'm going to need is a card base. So I'm actually going to just very quickly, oh sorry about that, I'm just going to very quickly cut myself a card base. Oh, not that way, I'm not. It's 10.5, Cary, get your eyes in. And then I'm going to score it at 14.85 to make a basic C6 card. And this is where we're going to start our journey. Take my bone folder, my trusty bone folder, to get a nice neat crisp line on both sides, because we want it to look good. So, the other thing you're going to need is another baby wipe. Because the one thing you do have to remember with this technique is, once you have stamped, you can never, ever get it exactly the same. So I've got my stamp on there. I'm going to go up and down in the same area and hope it works. Wish me luck. It might not for the first one, but that's okay. Oh no, that didn't come up very well, did it? Do you know what I'm going to do? Because I have actually given in and put the heating on. I know, shock horror. I'm going to just give this a quick moisten. And I'm going to take my other stamp and try that. And we're going to go random across there. What do you think? I love the colours. It's just not coming out very well, is it? So, now Andrea has just said it could be because it's a distinctive set, which means the distinctive ink stamps have quite a lot of detail on them. So I'm going to go back in I am not doing my usual kissing technique, as you can see, but I am going to go like that. 1, 2, 3. That's a bit better. Look at that. Okay, let's try this other one. All I'm doing is practicing. I'm playing. I'm not making it serious. It's not tricky. So tap, tap, tap. Get some good inking on there. And let's go. Let's turn that round, shall we? And put that on there like that. 1, 2, 3. There. I actually quite like that. I thought it was going to be a lot brighter, but I think the purple, which is the Orchid Oasis, is keeping it quite calm. I won't say dull, because it's not dull at all. Oh, thank you, Tricia. Yeah, I quite like that. That's quite attractive. So that was our practice. Let's put that to one side and let's get our snowflakes. Now, shall we give this, oh, sorry, avalanche of ribbon there. Shall we give these a little more ink on them? Shall we just go in and put a few more dots on there to revive the bits that are already there? Give them a little bit more ink. Maybe I wasn't generous enough. Maybe I wasn't. This is a learning process for us all. It's a very long time since I've done this technique. And we had an all-day class on Saturday when I would normally have practiced. And of course I didn't get time. But I'm glad we went to the class because we had a fabulous time. So let's put a little bit more green on the green bits. I think they looked cool. Yeah, I was quite pleased with the way they turned out then. I liked the effect. So, now Lynn, who was on here, I don't know if she still is a bit of a, she likes things neat and tidy. So I'm not sure how she's going to feel about this technique. But we'll find out, because I'm sure she'll let us know. You loved the class. Oh, I'm so glad you had fun, Laura. It was Laura's first class with us today, on Saturday. We had an all-day class using the gorgeous gnomes for Christmas cards, but larger cards. So we made A5 cards, which I don't know what they're called in America. So I'm going to just close that up for a second whilst I grab my blocks for these beautiful stamps. And it's a new set. Oh, it's so pretty. So we need that one on there. We're going to have that one on there. Where did the other block go? And there it is. I'm glad to hear you're going to get in a mess, Lynn. Oh, grand. Okay, so let's take the... When you buy cling stamps from Stampin' Up, they come already with the foam on them and a backing piece to stop the clinging to everything until you've got them out and are using them. So I've got all 4 stamps. I've taken the backing off and I've popped them onto blocks. Let's pop them to one side and find our piece of cardstock, because we are simple stamping. We are keeping it simple. We're going directly onto our card fronts like that. Oh, that was a really bad bit, Cary. You did that really badly. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Oh, that's a bit better. It's not perfect, but hey. Does that happen to you too, when you fold a card base and it doesn't get... It happens all the time. So we've opened our ink pad up. And let's place the big guns in there, on there. So we're going to go straight down again, up and down in the same place. And we're going to 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, clean the stamp in between. And we'll try it over here, because every time you do this, you're going to get a different effect. 1, 2, 3. I love it, love it, love it. That's a catchphrase, love it, love it, love it, from Cherish on Bake Off the Professionals. I really like the way she... I love it, love it, love it. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to twist it around a bit and go there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've done the large one. Let's work our way down. Let's do this one next. 1, 2, 3. Tap it, tap it, tap it. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, look, it caught on the edge there. Can you see how the rubber has been cut slightly misaligned here? Now, if this happens, okay, and it does this, then what you can do is take it off, grab a pair of scissors. These are my red rubber scissors from when I first joined Stampin' Up many moons ago, and just trim off the edges. Andrea is going no in the background, but I'm very sorry to Andrea, but I don't like it when they leave the lines around them. It's not going to hurt the image. Just take away the bits that are no good, the bits that get in the way. We don't want those bits. So let's put it back on the block, and we'll ink it up again. And we're going to go off the edge there. 1, 2, 3. See? No lines this time. Oh, I just made a mistake. I went in and did it again without cleaning it and drying it, because it gets a bit wet. And we'll have a little bit down here. There we go.
Says I need to learn how to be simple.
You don't think you could cut it? Well, Andrea was having kittens then, as you saw. You see, this one's the same. Okay, I won't cut this one. 1, 2, 3.
You've not seen my comment.
But it does that every time. It's really annoying. Don't cut my stamps. Ha!
You didn't like this stamp set.
I'm not suggesting that I'm disliking the stamp set, Andrea.
Laura says I'm with Andrea.
Well, when I first joined Stampin' Up and first started stamping, rubber stamps came on wooden blocks. And I'll tell you a little story about myself. I was so precious about them that if you imagine this acrylic block was the wooden block, if I got any ink on here or the sides, I used to gently sand it all off so they were perfect. Now, I'll just cut the rubber around them. Tap him up again. Oh, I love that little stamp. That is gorgeous. It's going to hide a multitude of sins. And I've just been tapping back in the same place, so I don't have to worry about getting the colours mixed up. But how quick and easy was that? I think that's a fabulous effect. Does need another stamp though. Let's get this one. I'll wipe this one first. Yes, Cary. Clean the stamp as you go. Clean as you go and you'll have no mess. So, let's tap that there. I'm going to pop that on there. No, clean the stamp again. Come on. Play by the rules, Cary. I know it's okay to make a mess, but there's no need to spoil things. Oh, and I just did that because I didn't dry my stamp off after I cleaned it. But that's okay for now. So there we have it. Don't those colours work together so beautifully? If it was a repeat offender, I love it. Yes, Laura, repeat offenders do need to be dealt with. Okay, so we've done candy canes. We've done beautiful snowflakes. Now it's time to introduce sentiments. Shall we see if we can use this technique with the sentiment stamp? I will need the block back off of my candy canes. I like the word jingle. I think it's fun. So, another card base. Oh, this one's got very creased. I don't know what I've done with this. I've made a mess there, haven't I? Oh well. This is a waste not, want not situation. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Sorry, what was that, Laura? Could you put... We'll give that a go in a mo. Let's just do the sentiments first and then we will give it a go. This is standard white cardstock I'm using. You can use thick white, you can put it onto coloured white cardstock. Coloured whites. Yes, my brain is addled. Coloured cardstock is easy enough to do. Jingle. Let's try jingle. Now, these stamps are, you can use the outline and the filler separately, or you can put them together. Hi, Lou. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn that over so it's the right size up. And we got it on the block. So we're going to try with the infill part first. And we're just going for random all over the front again. We're not doing anything fancy. And this time we can see where we're going to be inking. Ooh. Clean the stamp. Dab it off. And go back to the ink pad. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I likey. So we work well with the infill. I wonder how it's going to be with the outline. Let's do our final, because of course we have to work in threes. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Let's give that a clean before we put it to one side and bring out the outline. So we're only going to be inking up very thin lines. So I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, it does. I like it. You know, practice will make perfect, and these will be better the next time. It's been a while since I've done these. Oh, look, can you see I overpressed there and I got a little mark? It happens to us all. But I do like the way that is coming out. I don't know, can you see that really well? Yeah. It's looking good to me. So, I like this sentiment and I like this set because it gives you lots of options. And I'm going to go in and just give this another little go over. I've gone in with the extra bit down there to make 7. So don't panic, Ali. We're still doing odds. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to go back in and do another one over here. Oh, do I need to do another one? No, I think it's all right, actually. So let's wipe that off there. So, it works with sentiments too. Clever, clever, clever. Now, Laura said, what would happen if we put a piece of cardstock straight onto it? Should we have a look? Let me find a piece of scrap. Just trim this piece up, as it's a bit bigger than my case. So I'm going to use that piece. And I'm going to very carefully lay that gently on top, and I'm going to take my block and just wipe it over. Oh, I can see the ink is coming through already because it's moving there. I got lines. So pressure is important. Actually really quite like that. Let's cut another piece and see what happens if we spritz our paper first. Water spritzer, a spritzer filled with water, nothing fancy. All I'm doing is moistening the paper. You can see it wet there. And lay it down. So the first one was on dry, and I used the block going up and down. Oh, oh, I like it. That is gorgeous. The paper is bowing because it's damp, so I would need to dry that. Oh, very nice. There is another technique we can use, which means picking up your ink pad that you've made. Oh, in the back. Actually, let me just, before I get caught up in another idea, these can be dried and used on your projects. So you have got a background piece there. So I'm just going to drape that over there.
Tricia says a nice background.
Fun. Now, this is all fun. I like this. I'm having fun. Right, I've taken out one of the layers of my homemade ink pad. So in other words, baby wipe. I've closed my ink pad up, and I've taken this piece of card. I am going to do this on top of here because I haven't got a piece of kitchen roll, and it's all over me now, but that's okay. And I'm going to rub it down the paper. Oh, this is so much fun. What do you think of that one? Look at them. Yep, it means I've been playing. I've had fun. Now, this would be great for a background. You could pop something like that on top. But you could die cut out of it. You could stamp over the top of it. Let's have a look what's going to happen. This is just for fun technique. I will probably use these two pieces to make a card later when they're dry. Well, the first one is, but that one isn't. I've got this gorgeous background. Actually, while I've got this, what's that? While I've got this out, I'm actually going to, while you've got dirty hands, you might as well go with it. I'm going to scrunch it up and see what happens. That's very dirty. Let's try on this bit. Not in there. If I dab it. Wow! Now that is beautiful. Oh, look at that. That is a very unique one-off. And that is just your baby wipe, scrunched up. Maybe a pair of gloves would be sensible. But it's only ink. It's water-based. It's not going to hurt. And you just scrunch up the bits so that you've got the colours all mixed together. And dab. You can have it as loose. Or tight as you like. Order some gloves and give it a go. Sounds like a sensible idea. So you like the dabs, do you? I do too, actually. I think that's really beautiful. So we'll put that over there to dry because I'm a bit wet now. I'm a bit messy. So what have we done? What were we going to do? I can't remember. We've done direct to the ink. That's what I was going to do. I was going to take this. Let's find another piece of card. I'm looking for a smaller piece of card. Oh, there's a smaller piece of card. I liked that stripy look, but I liked it. No, did I want the stripy bit? yes, I wanted the folded over ink pad, but I'm going to use the stripes technique that we've just created. I'm sure somebody else has done it before, but it's new to me. I'm creating unique backgrounds. That looks like a watercolour wash background. It's watercolour in a way, and I'm going to take this snowflake and I'm going to see what it looks like if I stamp over there. Oh, I like it. Give it another go. I'll go up here. Wow. Now don't forget, you can keep these ink pads going for a little while. They will, all the time they're damp, they will work. If they start to get a little bit dry, spritz them with water, because after all, most baby wipes these days are water based. So a little bit of water will reactivate the ink nicely.
But Laura, you will learn Cary loves getting messy and Jill doesn't.
This is very true. Kay knows us too well. So, wow. Recap. For your unique individual ink pad, what do you need? You need baby wipes. Check. You need re-inkers. You can use any water-based re-inker. Stampin' Up have 50 of them, not 60, in various colours. I chose to use these three that are all from the 22-24 ink colour because you could buy them in a group. A case, it could be any case. It could be a Tupperware tub, an old margarine tub, doesn't matter. I would suggest if it's a deep tub that you use the lid as your stamp base, and cardstock and stamps, and you get to have all this fun.
But I'm going to risk your hand and have a go.
Oh, I'm glad you're going to have a go. So, shall we have a quick look at what our first step was? This was our first one with a more solid image. The more solid the image, the more colour you're going to get through. The next one we did was the beautiful snowflakes with their fine lines, but because they're quite intricate, you get quite a lot of colour. You can do sentiments with them. Obviously, the outline. Colour, Andrea's just asking if colour matters. I don't think colour matters in the sense that if you're doing a subtle project, you put subtle colours together. Obviously, it's not going to be jumping off the page quite the same way as a brighter colour. But what I do highly recommend on the subject of colour is to go 3, possibly 4 together, because you don't want them to go muddy. We then took a layer of our baby wipe out. I'm going to dry this one and use it as a background. You can fold it up, fold your ink pad up and do a swipe, which is what we did on here. We did a swipe like you would perhaps with a watercolour brush. We did a white watercolour swoosh. We then scrunched it up to make a scrunched up background. That's rather lovely. We also went direct to the ink pad. This is with dry paper, and all I did was place it gently on top that way and rubbed my little block up and down it, and I got that gorgeous. I love how these colours have merged together. Beautiful. And this one I spritzed the cardstock with water before I did it. Again, used my little block to go up and down and got a different look. So all these different looks from the same thing. And this is going to keep there probably for a good 8 weeks if you look after it. But when you're bored with it, you can move on to throw it away, get some more and change your colours up. You could have a pink, now my brain is just fizzing. You could do an ombre and have an ombre ink pad. You could do shades of blue. You could do shades of green and have your leaves on it. Oh, so many ideas. So many ideas. Yes, 8 weeks, as long as it's airtight and you keep checking to see if it's drying out. If it's drying out, a little spritz with water should reactivate it nicely. I think that's quite a good way to play and make the most out of what you got. Anyway, that's enough for today. Next week we're going to have a look at vellum because Betty asked about using vellum. So I thought we'd have a play with vellum next week. So that's it from me today. Take care, look after yourselves. I hope the weather's better for you where you are than where I am. It's dark, dull and dismal and just grimballs. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.